Hello, hello. This is my Artify episode number 2716. Today's date is 1st February 2023. It's almost like 9 a.m. Now वाजून 5 मिनिट झाले सकाळचे. Okay, so right now I am at my rooftop. It's it's a very little bit of wind with cold. So cold wind cold wind, I don't know what is exactly the proper word. Cold wind or thandi hawa hai. Yeah, thandi hawa hai. Yeah, sun is shining too, but the 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 influence, the heat I didn't really get from sun. Because of that ki it's a very thandi hawa over here, and because of this thandi hawa hai, you don't really feel little bit of warm if you are still on in front of sun as also. But in front of sun, what are you trying to say? Like, I'm not trying to say in front of sun, I'm trying to say, you know what I'm trying to say. So what is exactly, I didn't really happen anything. Yeah, also one thing, yeah, yesterday I was didn't really make artifact. I make artifact episode, actually I make, but not in proper way. Okay, why? Because of that key, last night I was thinking about something. And what is that? Okay, so usually I never really say anything according to my dreams and things like that. Like, dreams. Well, what do you mean by I didn't really tell? Well, let me tell you one thing. Right now I'm doing YouTube. Okay, so I'm asking these questions to myself, like, uh, will I be doing YouTube for the rest of the life, or else I have to do something even more or something, or whatever it is. Okay, so I didn't really ask this question in Artifact episode, actually. Yeah, I think about it every day, but I didn't really talk about this thing in Artifact episode. uh, and still, should I talk about this thing in Artifact episode? I am not really sure. Why? Because of that ki, uh, let me tell you one thing. Why? Because of that ki, it's a hypothetical thing. Okay, what is a hypothetical thing? Hypothetical things means like that ki things is not actually happened, or things will not be happened, or maybe just like that ki, like, I'm giving you example that you can understand properly. Hypothetical means like, what if, like, tomorrow morning sun is not shine. Okay, like tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. it's completely dark, sun is completely vanished, completely disappear. Okay, like, in naturally, in practically this is not going to happen, but hypothetical situation is that ki, what if sun is completely disappear, then what will be happened? Okay, so this is called hypothetical. Like, when you ask something question which is not actually happened, will not be happen, called hypothetical. But it's not kind of like a will not be happen. Okay, like something, what I'm trying to tell you ki, just an example is that ki, hypothetical question, like, I am married with some sort of south actress. Okay, so is that hypothetical question? Yeah, it's hypothetical question right now. But will it be a hypothetical question in the future? No, it not. Because of that case, somehow, maybe, I don't know, like, if I have that kind of like a reach. What is reach? Reach means like that I have that upper hand to marry with a some sort of a actress. It can be possible. So hypothetical, this word is actually used for multiple scenario. Okay, sometime which is not actually, sometime which is not actually kind of like a not possible in right now position, but in the future position it will be possible. Or this word is actually used for kind of like a such thing will not be happen ever. Okay, so do you understand what is exactly means hypothetical? So this is called hypothetical. Okay, so this is hypothetical thought. Okay, that ki um like it all depend on the YouTube platform too. Okay, it all depend on the YouTube platform. Okay, because of YouTube is not actually grown up, this thing will not be grown up. Okay, so this base is actually from YouTube. So what is that? So is that ki if I'm not saying if, okay, I'm saying that ki like I don't want to say this will happen, like I don't want to say this will happen. No, I will say that ki it did happen. Okay, when I say did happen na, I feel little bit of confidence. When I say it will happen, I didn't really feel confidence. Okay, so I said that like right now I am telling this thing that ki such thing happened, such thing already happened. Okay, so it's kind of like a, okay, so it's kind of like a future. So right now just imagine that ki I am not just talking in 2023, I am talking in uh, 2423. Okay, and 20 साल बाद. Okay, so let's just start. Okay, let's just start. All right. So hello, this is the my artifact episode number sometimes. Today's date is 23, sorry 20, sorry, today's date is the 1st February 2423. Okay, 423, sorry, 2000 2043. Okay, not 23, it's a 43, it's 20 years side now, so 43. So yeah, I am actually 46. Okay, 46. No, I'm not 46 actually. At that time I will be almost like 43 plus 7, that means 50. So at 2043 I will be age of 50. Okay, so it's 50. I am it's very good morning. Okay, it's almost like a 9:05 a.m. 006, wait, okay, 9:12 a.m. I am at actually I am not in India. Okay, I am in US. Okay, US, California, Miami. Okay, this is my second house. Okay, I just bought this house in US. Not just, I just bought almost like last year. And it's like I really need, because of that key. I was actually traveling, I was actually shifting hotels to hotels so much. Okay, so I just decided that let's buy house at US. Actually I have three houses. Okay, three, actually one in US, one in Pune, and another in Europe. It's actually in Germany, Berlin. Okay, so yeah. So is that like basically at 2022 I started YouTube journey, and I never really thought that I will become kind of like this person. Okay, right now let me tell you who I am. Okay, so I am actually very rich. Okay, I am India's second richest man, and in the world I am the fourth richest man in the world. Yeah, and how I became the richest man? Like I run the company. I actually uh, my company is actually providing gaming service. What is gaming service? Is that key I am like cloud gaming service, like whoever the person wanted to play game. Okay, like before that now I'm talking about almost like 20 years ago, or maybe 2020 before. Okay, so usually as a player who wanted to play the game, he can play, or whoever the person wanted to play the game, he can play the game on PC, okay, or console. Okay, these are the two options. Okay, uh, why? Because of that key, these games are very heavy. Okay, like basically it required lots of graphics power. Okay, it has to be render all those frames. Okay, so it required so much hardware to run those games, so that's why we cannot play such a game in kind of like a basic computer. No, as most of the games is actually play on really hard high end kind of like a devices, high end kind of like a thing. I'm talking about as a full fledged gaming. Okay, I'm not talking about mobile gaming. I'm talking about God of War, Spider-Man, lots of games like that. All right, so um like I really wanted to create this cloud gaming service, but it is so much obstacles and there are so many problems with it. Let me tell you one thing, my journey. Okay, so I started YouTube in 2022. At that time I was 29. Okay, it was a really horrible situation at that time, because I am 29, I was not earning any money, I was living with my parents, and really not so cool situation. Okay, but still I just try to make gameplay video every day. Okay, so I was actually uploading video every day, every day, every day, with kind of like a add some sort of commentary, which is actually little bit of feels good. Okay, this commentary is meant for the Hindi people. Okay, as a Indian perspective. Okay, and try to add some sort of a value, add some sort of a funny element in it, so it's good. So I started YouTube at wait, let me. I started YouTube at June, maybe June 2022, 2022. Yeah. So I was actually uploading video every day, and for entire year from June 2022 to June 2023, I was not actually earn any money. Okay, my channel is not actually monetized. Okay, yeah. My monetization start at November 2023. Okay, like in the November 2023, I get some sort of audience attentions, and my first check was almost like a 33,000. Okay, which is actually very much good. Like at this point, at 2043, this 33,000 is nothing, and I'm talking about as a Indian currency, so it's nothing. But still at that time it was really good, because I was not earning any money, and since I get money from that, I have passion, so it felt really good. Okay, but somehow this is the beginning. Okay, because of that, let me tell you one thing, ki till November 2023 I uploaded almost like a 400 video, 400 500 video. Okay, I'm not sure, but that is the roughly about that video. Okay, and I upload so many gameplays. First of all, GTA 5, RDR 2. Okay, Uncharted, God of War, Spider-Man, those are the games. Okay, and then from November 2023 it actually boost up a lot. Okay, in 2024, this just in 1 year, just in 2024, I achieve I in middle of 2024 I achieve million subscriber, and at the end of 2024 I achieve almost like a 5 million subscriber at the end of 2024. Okay, and in 2025 I achieve from 5 million subscriber to, at end of 2025, I achieve 30 million subscriber. Yeah, it's a really massive jump. Okay, and 35 subscriber, and then 2026, at the edge of 2026, from 30 to almost like a 73 million subscriber in just 1 year. So if I count my YouTube journey from 2022 to 2026, in 4 year, beginning of the 2 year was nothing, but last 2 year was super massive. Okay, and I earn lots of money. And also one thing is that ki, I was earning too much amount of money. What is exactly means by too much amount of money is that ki, usually my content is based on games. Okay, and the whoever the person wanted to watch those games, those person are actually kind of like a relate with the computer games and graphics and things like that. It actually makes as an audience who is actually higher, who have kind of like a richer person. Okay, who is actually richer person, who is actually afford to play game, they are actually watch my games. Okay, so because of that, okay, I was actually earning lots of money. Like my CPM was my what is exactly CPM? So it's a monetary term. Okay, it's a monetization term. Is that key how much money you will get after you get 1,000 views? Okay, so after the 1,000 views, I get almost like a $50. Okay, $50. So $50 was too much. Okay, because it's a very massive. Okay, and I am getting almost like a every day I'm getting 20 million views. Okay, so it is really good, it is really great. Okay, in this artifact episode I will actually talk about the things happened with me. Okay, so I always curious about the cloud gaming, and I always wanted to be as a start as a gaming cloud service. Okay, but it requires lots of it required lots of things. It required kind of like hardware and the internets and lots of things, and as also whoever the person who can play this game, this game is actually meant for the internet speeds and things like that. So it's very difficult. Okay, let me tell you one thing, what exactly is this thing. So cloud gaming, what is exactly the cloud gaming? So cloud gaming means like that, as a user who can play a game from mobile phone, but the game is not actually run on his phone. The game is run on somewhere, game is run on some other computer. Okay, and as a user has a control to manipulate the character and things like that. Okay, so it's actually a stream. Okay, it's actually a stream. Okay, as a person who can stream the game from another computer on his phone. Okay, so that is called cloud gaming. Okay, so let me tell you what is the problem with the cloud gaming. First of all is that the latency is a really big issue, and it's really difficult to tackle. Let me tell you one thing, how is this thing. So is that ki, while you are playing a game, okay, if you wanted to jump, you play X, you press X. After you press X, okay, the character is jump. Okay, so this the movement and everything has to be happen very quickly when you play the game inside the mobile. Okay, as the game is inbuilt on the mobile, so this thing actually happen easily because the information transfer from your mobile to your hand is very kind of like it doesn't require any internet and anything. Okay, but cloud gaming has a kind of like a very lower hand, that when you press something, when you press jump, okay, the signal is transformed from mobile transform to isp transform to um, server, then server has a generate that render that input, and it gives you output, and that output transfer to isp to carrier to mobile to tower to mobile to user. Okay, so it takes almost like a zero point 0.7 nanosecond. Okay, zero point 0.7 nanoseconds means like that ki, if you say it's a like nanoseconds is actually count as 100 nanoseconds means 1 second. हा काय तो काढून ठेव ना इथून मी आहे म्हणते. थोडा वेळ ठेव, 10 मिनिट.
पावडर मध्ये
10 मिनिटं थांब.
मग पटकन सुरू कर ना त्याला
काम करायला नाही तर
तू सगळं काम करायचं तू काम करायचं
okay, so latency, yeah. So latency was a really problem with this thing. I already explained what is the latency. Okay, so usually I get 0.7 nanoseconds, which is actually even cool. Okay, like if you compare right now in 2042, we have almost like achieved point 2 nanosecond. Okay, but where at 2025 2026 it was very difficult. It was zero point 0.7 nanosecond, which is really difficult. Yeah, like you can feel the latency. Okay, right now we don't really feel any latency, but at that time it's really feel. Okay, and actually, which is actually very much happened when you are playing combat. Okay, because in the combat na, like when you are killing the enemy, okay, you are doing lots of things. You are putting aim, you are moving somewhere else, you are taking covers and lots of things, so you are actually input lots of datas. Okay, so when you feel that latency, it just kind of like something, it just drop the fun part of the games and things like that. So it's very difficult. Okay, like I just tested the whatever the equipment I have and what can I do. Okay, so I talked to my manager. My manager, I didn't really talk about my manager named Ajit. Okay, I met him, okay, in 2024. Okay, because I was actually going through lots of stuff, because from 2022 to 2024, all those things, all the YouTube video and sponsorship things are actually doing by myself. But but I thought that it's not, because it is very difficult to manage such a thing. Because of that, I was getting sponsorships from lots of people and I have to manage those. I have to reply those mails and things. It's so much documental thing. Okay, so I hired a person named Ajit, and Ajit is a really good person. I didn't really know, but at that time I just hired for doing some sort of document work and things like that. So I hired that person. Okay, like I went to the college. I just did some sort of interview, and Ajit was a really good person. So yeah. So what is exactly, I talked to him and I says that, "Okay, I wanted to do cloud gaming services." Okay, and I just wanted to know how much money it required. Okay, like my main motive, like my initial motive was that, okay, at that time I just wanted to create a app which can as a 500 user or 500 player who can play a game on cloud gaming, or just 500. Okay, just wanted to test key what is exactly the happening in this thing. Okay, so Ajit was really excited about this thing, and we are both are really digging some sort of experiment and research and everything. How much money, first thing is that key, how much money does it require. Okay, so usually at the before we started 500 users, we actually tested a lot and we actually find out and things like that. So there is a supercomputer. Okay, the actually the initial thought was that ki set up a 500 computer. Okay, then connect those computer into the internet, okay, as upload speed, and whoever the person who is actually wanted to play game, okay, in the cloud gaming, that person is alert that computer, and in the specific computer whatever the game you have, okay, that user can play this game, and whole the feed is actually happened in stream format. Okay, So this is the initial plan, but this is not actually working out. I try this thing but it's not work out. Why? Because of that, कि as a PC, as a computer, I'm talking about a single PC is not actually very much powerful. Even if I add some sort of a i3 sorry i9 processor with a higher generation and then a high-end graphics card, but still my initial is like a 720p graphics rendered cloud gaming, which will not happen in that process. It actually happened but latency was too much. Okay, so we need some sort of a solution. Okay, so we are digging up and everything. Okay, so actually there are also a option called supercomputer. Okay, what is exactly the supercomputer? So it's a computer but it's a supercomputer. Okay, so what is this thing? As a supercomputer he can do lots of things at once. Okay, so actually I have enough money to buy this computer. Okay, because it's the initial stage. Okay, so I just wanted to understand what is it. So this supercomputer is actually handle 100 user at a time. Okay, it's not actually handle 500 user, it actually handle 100 user at a time. So it's just like that कि हाँ चलो काम करते हैं. So let's just go. So I buy this supercomputer. Okay, but the and it actually performed good. Okay, but latency is still okay. Like my latency was zero point 0.7 nanosecond, my latency became zero point 0.6 nanosecond, so which is not like it's still it just I didn't really feel anything. Yeah, you can run game, you can play game, but um, it didn't really work out. Okay, just like that latency feel, and when you have that latency now the how much game is looks really good, but when you have that latency it just doesn't feel that key you are playing game. Okay, it felt that key you are streaming. Okay, so it was quite difficult to do that. Okay, so we were actually digging up so much problems and facing those. It's like the app is not launched. Okay, we are still on beta version. Okay, and we are testing from inside the team. We actually I actually hired a team. Okay, we set up an office. Okay, I didn't really talk about it. We set up an office in Pune. Okay, and we are hired some sort of almost like a 20 to 30 people who were actually very much scientists and things like that, and we are actually digging up the problems and fixing the problems and things like that. Okay, how should we deal with this thing? Okay, so let me tell you one thing, ki how should we solve that thing. So what is the problem with this thing? So how we get zero point 0.7 second nano points 0.7 nanoseconds latency. So usually there is so much process happen. Okay, so usually you play a command, you put the command on your character like a jump or run. So usually lots of things happen. Okay, so first of all is that the signal is transfer from mobile to ISP to server to ISP to mobile. Okay, so this is okay, but another thing is actually happened is that graphics. Okay, so like when you put the command, okay, then graphics is generate on the server and that signal get back to your mobile phone, and that took almost like a zero point 0.7 nanosecond kind of like that key latency. So like render is actually happened after you input the command. Okay, so my guess is that okay, what if all entire the game is actually rendered. Okay, like basically is that in the traditional way the game is actually rendered when you press the command. Okay, but what if the entire game is already rendered? Okay, just already rendered. Okay, and you just and actually as a player who is actually putting the command is actually add some sort of possible result. So what is this possible result and everything? Okay, so let me clarify to you what exactly is this thing. So as I'm talking, just try to imagine the things is that you are playing a Spider-Man. Okay, and in front of your enemy. Okay, So what would you do? Okay, what is the things? First of all, you attack that person, possible one. Possible two is you dodge that person. Okay, dodge. Okay, this is the possible two. Possible three is run away. Okay, you are run away from that enemy. That is possible three. Possible four is that ki, uh, like we added so much possible result that what could that person do, what does that player do. Okay, like we added a possible result. Okay, like what does, like the when you face the enemy, what would you do? So we added so much possible results. Okay, and those possible result are already rendered according to you, according to the game, sorry, according to the user. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you ki actually, as a user is not playing a game, as a we are actually telling our computer, our game, to what exactly show them when he press that. Okay, because he already pressed that thing, like it's kind of like a slideshow. Okay, let me clarify to you. Okay, so in the PowerPoint presentation, okay, in the PowerPoint presentation, we are talking about, just an example is Burj Khalifa. Okay, so first slide is how much height is that. Next slide is how much base is that. Second slide is how much strength is that. So all those slides are actually made by someone. Okay, so consider that person is a graphics card. Okay, and we are actually getting information. So instead of like when you press the button, okay, that person is actually understand everything and show them to you. Okay, just forget that example. Show next, another example is that ki why Google, or actually like when you search about Burj Khalifa on the Google. Okay, and you see so many results are available. Okay, and you click that, press click link like a Wikipedia page, and this page is open. Okay, so usually this page is open because of that ki this page is not actually written at that time. No, this page is already written by someone else. Okay, which is already happened, it's already made. You just have to click, you just went to that page, you just went their page and you are watching. So this is exactly that I wanted to do is that ki whoever the person is actually inputting the command, the whatever the result that we get, that he get, that user get, is actually pre-rendered. Okay, so as a we don't have a time to render that game again and again, because everything is actually already rendered. So this is my kind of like a motive, that motive, no, this is kind of like a solution that we found. Okay, it's a very tricky as also because of that ki if I am trying to do this thing, so I just have to render the entire game. That is good thing. Okay, I have to render all the possible result of the game, all the possible, all the thing which is actually so much, almost like a like if I'm saying that ki just an example, the spider-man game is all the possible result, like how much is this thing, like how much possible way. So we actually created almost like a 3700 possible result of 3000, more than 3000, I don't know, but it is kind of like so much. So we pre-rendered that game. Okay, we pre-rendered that game, and that game is actually tested. Okay, so when we test that game, okay, so we actually get kind of like a less latency, like a point 0.4 latency, which is still not good because you can feel point 0.4 latency is, you feel latency. Okay, but everyone was really cheer up this thing. Okay, so and I am really excited about that thing. Yeah, it says zero point 0.4 nanosecond was kind of like a latency, but it's good, like no one is actually achieved that thing. So I am good. So everyone is set, the app is actually set, the test is actually clear, everything, and we roll out beta version in Play Store. Okay, I have so many friend who is actually try out. Okay, they try out like a Mithilesh and Shlok. Okay, usual lots of people, those are the YouTuber people. Okay, and and they try out, they feel really good. Yeah, they feel little bit of latency, but yeah, it's good. And it's almost like a started at the beginning, 100 user, okay, 100 user at a time who can play game. I actually pre-rendered 5 game, okay, Spider-Man, God of War, Forza Horizon, GTA 5, RDR2, just 5 games, okay. And I pre-render all those games, pre-render all those possible results of the game. We team, my team is actually rendered and everything, okay. And also one thing is that my game is not actually like you can play game from a mobile phone, but the control is not on the screen. No, it required a gamepad, okay. That is my initial thought, is that like as a gamer, as a person who is actually like a like basically like having a gamepad, when you play a game from the gamepad, it felt good. It felt that this is kind of like a really good, you feel that the vibration, you feel that like in the touch screen na, it just doesn't feel like you are playing game. It just felt like that, I don't know, it's not okay like a playing game on mobile phone and playing game with gamepad. It's playing game is gamepad is actually very much preferable. And it's kind of like a really long term, okay. I don't want to people just play just for a couple of time and that's it. No, like when you play a game with the gamepad, you are actually engaged in the game, engaged in the character as also. So my actually server service actually started with the gamepad, okay. Whatever the gamepad you have, all the gamepad is actually run on the mobile phone. So this is okay. So we roll out the beta version, okay, 100 user. And I am getting kind of like a really mixed thought, okay. What is the mixed thought? Like a latency was issue, okay. As also we roll out in the Pune, okay, in the Pune, in Bombay, okay, mostly Pune in Bombay, okay. And 100 user means like that, kids, is nothing. This is really really nothing. So we have kind of like a issue, okay. First of all is the number of user, okay. I wanted to increase 100 user to 500 user, okay. But still also facing the like when you increase the user, okay, it increase the latency because upload speed, okay. Upload speed is also really mattered, okay, because every second from the server almost like a 1 GB 2 GB of data upload, okay, per second. So but still is not enough, okay. I need almost like a 7 to 8 GB data upload, okay, per second. So because of that also feel latency, okay. That latency count like a point 0.4 to point 0.7, okay. So still it's not, because this is a server thing, okay. It's an internet thing, okay. And internet is actually very much fluctuated because all the research that we did, that research that we did on the PC, on computer, on without any network data, on without any network, okay. But right now we are actually include network in it, so it actually added some sort of a zero point 0.7 nanosecond latency, so which is really really not okay. My game is actually stream at 1080p 60 fps, okay. So let's just decided that key, let's do 720p, okay. So 720p is really good, but still we haven't. So I just realized that what if what if like whoever the person wanted to play this game, okay, that game is actually run on 480 pixels, okay. 480 pixels is a SD format, okay, standard definition, okay. 480 with 60 fps. So when I switch at 480 60 fps, my latency drop at zero point 0.3 nanoseconds, okay. Zero point 0.3 nanoseconds with the network, and which is really really good, okay. But still it felt latency, yeah, yeah, it felt latency too. So we actually pre-rendered that data, okay. So the data is actually rendered at 1080p, like the all the data that we rendered at 1080p full HD, okay. So when whoever the person is actually playing this game in 480p, and the data is actually coming from 1080p to 480p, so the from the conversion from full HD to SD, it takes time, okay. So we added a separate layer. Okay, separate layer of entire game, entire the possible result. Okay, so added three layer. Okay, like a one layer is 1080p, another layer is 720p, and another is a next layer is a 480p. So 480p entire level and entire possible result. Okay, with that particular game. So which is really massive, like the game is already pre-rendered. So as a whoever the person who can play this game, who input the command, the game is not rendered because it already rendered. So the game is actually the app is actually showing the already rendered image, so which is good, great. One thing. Another thing is that the game is actually streaming at 480p resolution, which is kind of like a good, because of that when you are playing game on the small screen, okay, you don't need a 1080p or 720, because of that it's just too much. Okay, even if you are 6-inch screen as also, but 480 frame is good. Okay, and if you wanted to increase, then it increase the latency as also. Okay, so 480p is good. Okay, and most of the people is actually it's not actually feel really not actually have kind of like a issue with that, because like when you play the game now, you required kind of like a zero latency. If you have a zero latency with high quality frames, okay, 60 fps is always I want it, because when you play 60 fps non-drop frames, so it's kind of like a really continuous, it's felt really smooth. Okay, so this is, so yeah. So because of this, because of 480p resolution, I created 1.2 nanosecond latency, which is super good. Okay, with 100 user. Okay, with 100 user, and we increase also user from 100 to 500 user. We buy another cpu. Okay, we add a supercomputer, increase the user from 100 to 500 user, and everyone is actually say that it was really good. He says that the game is really good, the app is really fluent, and the latency that we didn't really feel really good. Okay, so we added feedback loops and things like that, so it was really good. Okay, my server all the time full. Okay, whoever the person wanted to play a game on my server, on my app, is not gonna possible, because the server is all the time full, legit full. Okay, like I didn't have, like I need a special access to play this game. Okay, unless I cannot, because the game is actually very much full. My server is actually uploading data on full throttle, so it's good. Okay, but this is just a beginning of the problem. There are so much problem as also. And what is the problem is that like we are the server. Okay, the data is actually from the user, actually I play data from server. Okay, so server is actually on the land. Okay, and the communication is actually happened, the signal is actually transfer from mobile to carrier to tower to isp to server. So it's just a very long journey. Okay, so my manager says that this is not like a, and if I wanted to be expand in india, okay, so we need multiple servers. Okay, almost like a almost like how much server you get, like if I add almost like the supercomputer which have capacity to handle almost like maybe 1 million user at a time. Okay, so we need that 1 million user supercomputer in 50. Okay, almost like a 50, no, it's almost like a how many server does it require for entire india? It required almost like maybe pune, bombay, nagpur, then south india, then north, north, and then east, west. So from count is that I need almost like a 50 plus, okay, server, and each server required super computer, which is actually higher price. Okay, and I didn't really have that much money. legit. It's just like nothing at all to buy. Like like whatever the money that I earn from the YouTube and sponsorships and things like that, every money I actually put on this beta version. Okay, but I didn't really have money to launch in entire India. It's really not. So then I met with Zan. Who is Zan? Zan is actually a person who is actually invest in my money, invest fund in my money. Okay, so he invested money. Okay, and but it just like that, okay, it's not actually work out. The beginning plan was that okay, we need to build almost like a 30 servers in India. Okay, which is cost roughly almost like a maybe 10 million to 20 million dollar, which is even really higher price. Okay, so we added like we have that thing ki instead of add some sort of a server, we build a server, we build 4 server. Okay, five server actually: Pune, Bombay, Delhi, then Kolkata, Chennai. Okay, and these are the 5 server that we have. Okay, we can and from this 5 server, I actually 1 million user can access that platform, but not more than 1 million means 10 lakh people. So and the platform was really the performance, like the people's appreciation was really good. Everyone wanted to play that game, but still as a platform doesn't have that much capacity more than million viewers, million users. So which is really problem at all. Okay, so we need added more and more server. So this is the solution. But it is not, because the cost is became something really higher that we cannot afford it. So we actually find out that key, like, what if we build a server on the satellite instead of land? Just build a server on satellite. The advantage that we get from is that ki, when you build one server, just a one server, this just the whatever the server that you have right now, you just switch that server from land to satellite, it can cover almost like a half of India, just one server. Okay, and right now in India we have 4 server and we cannot occupy the entire India. But if we have just a one server from satellite, we can occupy almost like a 43% of India. Yeah, 43%, which, and as also the latency was not an issue, and the internet connection is, because everything is actually happened from the satellite. So which is really good. Okay, so we decided that let's launch this baby. Okay, but the also problem is that the server, that supercomputer that we have, the weight of that supercomputer is almost like a 12 ton, 12 ton. Okay, and if we launch that heavy thing on the satellite, it cannot, it is also really cannot affordable, really not affordable. Yeah, so let's just do R&D. Okay, so we did so much R&D. Okay, and after the R&D, we decreased the weight from 12 ton to 8 ton, 4 ton that we gap, and we launched that satellite. I was really much kind of like a very frustrated, very kind of like a tension. Okay, Zan and me, because the all those money that we put in that, and if the satellite launch is failed, then every money that we collect is drop, and it's just so much fucked up. But still this launch became successful, and my satellite, that one satellite, can before can carry almost like a maybe 10,000 10,000 user. That single user that carry almost like a 1 million user. Okay, which can consume almost like a 43% of India. So which is really good. Okay, so it's a massive jump. Okay, so but still that satellite is not actually proof for the future, because whatever the component that we have, we use that component to make that, but we didn't really upgrade that. Okay, so if you wanted to upgrade this thing, you just have to went to the satellite and do your stuff. Okay, so this is exactly what we do. Okay, so we upgrade that thing on the satellite. Okay, like this is not just happen, just things happen after that. It takes lots of time. Okay, from 2026 from 2026 to uh, almost like 33. Okay, I was actually doing research. I first satellite was launched in 2033. Okay, my first satellite was launched. Okay, and before that I was constantly doing research, almost like a 7 year we are doing research on that thing. Okay, just do things and everything. Okay, in 3033, okay, 2033 we launched the first satellite, which is became really successful. Then we launched the second satellite at the end of 3033, which can consume almost like a 10 million user, okay, at a time. And it grabs the entire India. Okay, so in 2020, at the beginning of the 2034, I actually became the cloud gaming service in India, which is actually very much possible. Okay, so even as a user has a 100 kb per second, that person can play a game. Okay, so this is the target that we achieve. Okay, and which is really good, because no one is actually did that thing in entire world, and I did that, and India and everyone. So yes, and we just have in our platform, we just have only 7 games. Okay, just 7 games. Okay, that's it, nothing at all. So yeah, and then after, things happen so rapidly. Okay, in the expand, we expand in US, then Europe, we expand in games, and the Prozac base station is actually open in every country. Okay, and as also is that ki when you are streaming this gaming platform now, then so many people's came, and so many people are wanted to invest money, and like things happen after that. Right now in this situation, okay, 2043, okay, I am, yeah, I am the richest person. Yeah, I have almost like uh, 33 satellite on the planet. Okay, on this 33 satellites on the orbit. Okay, which can cover up almost like every continent. Okay, every continent. uh, I am like, my company is actually leading the gaming service actually, online cloud gaming service, and because of this, I am the kind of like a richest person. Okay, so this is it. This is all those things happen. This is actually, I talk about such thing in my career and things like that, but this 20 year there are so many things happen with me, with my life, with my career. I talk about such thing in just upper layer, just I didn't really talk about in detail too. It's just this kind of like a really upper layer. The whatever the things that I do in detail, it was too much, because 20 year is a very long journey, and I've been through so many levels of stages. Okay, understanding, researching, finding, depression, lots of things. Okay, lots of things as also, but I enjoy this thing. Okay, right now I am 50. Okay, yeah, I am, but I didn't really, I am 50. I'm really young right now. Yeah, and I wanted to be I wanted to live for 100 years. That is my goal. Okay, and I will be live for 100 years. That is what I'm trying. Okay, and yeah, I am the richest person. Yes, richest person in the world, and